Alright, peace, 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 Sabrina. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is going to be your reading. I just want to thank you real quick, for your patience and your understanding. You feel what I'm saying? Now, without further ado, let's jump in. So in this reading, we're going to be looking at your houses, the aspects, and so the rulership of the houses and the aspects, and the houses as well. You feel me? So yeah, we share the same houses, which is very cool. We are both Virgo ascendants, right? And Virgo is the first house. And so, okay. So your first house is ruled by Mercury. So both your first and your 10th house are ruled by Mercury. Right, so the first house is a house that deals with the personal life, things that are personal to you. You feel me? Like why you do certain things for yourself, because like they make you feel a certain way about yourself. You feel me? So like the first house is that energy of the me, the I. Like Virgo, I feel like Virgo is a type of energy that's very much about maintenance. You feel me? So doing things like cleaning up, very personal to you. You feel me? Like you need a clean space, or otherwise it's hard for you to function. Servicing and helping others, it's personal to you. It's not just like you want to help this person because like they're gonna give you something out of it, but you're with the first house being here, you're sort of an individual who will just service and help and give people, and because just for the sake of it. So as we discussed, I'm pretty sure Virgo previously, Virgo is a sign that's ruled by Mercury, and it's an earth sign, but it's ruled by an air planet, and like air and earth are the yin and yangs to each other, because both air and earth are masculine. They both deal with practicality, logic, and rationality, but air is the ideas, meanwhile earth is the practical expression and manifestation of the idea into works, or putting the idea into action. You feel me? So that's what, yeah, so they're the yin and yang of each other, because earth builds a foundation for like air to be on. You feel me? And air like helps, I guess we can say, for lack of a better term, cleanse and purify, cleanse, purify the land. You feel what I'm saying? Like I was gonna say like air assists in the germination of the seed, but not per se, but the information, within the gene. You feel what I'm saying? That like the genetic information is air. You feel what I'm saying? So, but anyways, that's beside the point. Beside the point. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyways, that's the Virgo placement. You feel me? So Virgo being ruled by air and earth. You feel me? So it's like with this placement, it's like Virgo is like okay. So Virgo is also known as like mutable earth, right? And mutable earth is primarily like mortar and like earth that's like cement, earth that's a liquid, earth that's wet. So thus being very, very flexible and adaptable, being a sort that in a sense has an ability to merge and bridge things together. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, that's what Virgo is all about. And being ruled by Mercury, it's about bridging the mind with the bridging the mind and the body. You feel me? That's why it's the earth that's movable, because you feel what I'm saying. And so all the like when you do things where you're bridging your mind with your body, like you're going to see more improvements in your personal life. You feel me? By bridging thoughts and mind. Virgo is a sign that deals with like plans and systems and everything like that. You feel me? And just being grounded and practical, and even being disciplined. You feel me? So following routines and having a protocol and being health conscious as well is going to be of great importance for the Virgo energy. You feel me? And with your first house being in Virgo, like information and knowledge becomes of importance. But it's like Virgo is the type of energy that needs proof. It needs proof. So like having the proof is very personal to you. Like you're a type of person, maybe in a conversation, you like to, right, because obviously analyze, you like to ask questions and break things down, but it's not because you don't believe the person, but it's just because like you want to know more, like you want to make up your own, you feel me, like you want to assimilate it yourself and analyze it and break it down and understand it, you feel me. But yeah, and so also with the houses, understand that the different crystals associated with the signs, you feel me, are going to help you bring energy into that house. It's like when Virgo is when Mercury or the sun or the moon are in the sign Virgos, they are transiting through your first house, to our first house. And so then our attention becomes focused on our attention becomes focused on our personal life, but it's like whatever planet is in that house is sending us that energy, you feel me. So it's like if Mercury is in your first house, if Mercury is in Virgo, then you start to become more analytical and you think more about yourself, and you kind of analyze your situation and your thoughts, you feel me. And you're like, it's pretty much that simple, because that's what Mercury deals with. It deals with the thoughts, it deals with rationalization, communication, breaking things down, perception, strategy, the intellect, the mind, so of course you get all intellectual when the Mercury is transiting through your first house. But it's like, furthermore, you can go and get a crystal, right? I don't have my crystal right now, but I usually have a lapis lazuli. You can go and get a crystal, right? And like my lapis lazuli is a crystal that it's a stone, right, that belongs to Sagittarius. So when I put it on, I am channeling Jupiterian energy to myself, you feel me. And so I have Sagittarius in my third house, you feel me. So with me having Sagittarius in my third house, and then but me having Mars, like, I don't want to get too much into me, you feel me, but it's like by doing this, I am using the crystal to assist me in uplifting certain energies from myself, you feel me, that are weak, as I saw in my chart, you feel what I'm saying. So the other reading that I did for you when we were breaking down the charts, what you can do is go in there, look at it, look into the weaknesses and everything like that, and then go get crystals, images, clothing. Like the color light blue is Aquarius, and today is Saturn day, and so I could either be wearing a dark blue or a light blue. A light blue is Aquarius, the dark blue is Capricorn, you feel me. So yeah, you feel what I'm saying. And so this helps me align and be in tune with the day today, you feel what I'm saying. Yeah, but yeah, so that's the Aquarius, that's the first house in Virgo energy, you feel what I'm saying. And so with your first house and your 10th house being the same rulers, it's like the experiences you are going through in your personal life are meant to catapult you into some sort of public recognition, you feel what I'm saying. So like even being a Virgo and being very service orientated, goes on to create like this status and recognition about yourself. Like me, right, because we both have the same shit, you know what I'm saying. Pardon my language. So for me it's the same too. Naturally I was inclined towards servicing and helping others, and then my servicing and wanting to help others became my career, feel me. But the 10th house, right, because that's Gemini. So Gemini is like thinking, ideas, rationalization, X, Y, and Z. So with the 10th house energy, it's like you need to get into a field of work that deals with communication. And so your wealth houses, which are your second house, your 6th house, and your 10th house, these three houses are going to be in air signs, you feel me. And so it's like the more you can, for instance, we'll talk about I'll talk a little bit about your second house right now. For instance, the more you can invest in that Libra energy, the more you can invest in helping others, servicing others, being in that relationship, and compromising, the more value and benefit you will see that you are receiving, And it's like with the second house being in Libra, people become of value. You value people and you value connections as well, you feel me. And this can even be like a select few group of people. Because like, look, Libra deals with personal relationships. You feel what I'm saying? It doesn't deal with like relationships. It doesn't deal with relationships that are how do I put this? That are abroad. You know, like Gemini deals with the friends. You know, like the nonchalant, like, nah, they're friends. Associates. Like either these are people that are in your environment, or these are people that are like your siblings. Environment, we'll leave it at that. Neighbors. So that's the third house. But then that's the third house, or Gemini. But then Libra is like, now we're intimate and connected. But you already know this because I'm pretty sure I broke it down later. You feel me? So that's where the value is at. But with the Gemini 10th house energy, get into careers that deal with communication, intellect, that need you to apply your logic and rationality. Feel me? Like what I'm doing, right? I took my desire to service, Virgo, and I tapped. Ooh, it started vibrating. And I started I tapped into my knowledge and awareness, and I'm servicing, but the way I'm servicing looks like Gemini. You feel me? I hope that makes sense. So as a Gemini 10th house, midheaven, your thoughts and your ideas and your rationality and your logic and thinking become put on the stage. You feel me? And this is something that people recognize you for. The way that you talk, the way that you think, the way that you rationalize, the way that you logicalize. You feel what I'm saying? Becomes something that's just recognized. Because, okay, like so like the houses are divided into 4 quarters. You feel what I'm saying? First, so that's the chart, right? So the top of the chart are public houses. So the 12th house, the 11th house, the 10th house, the 9th house, the 8th house, and the 7th house. These are public houses in the sense that the things that these houses deal with are public. The world, like these are things that the world has access to and that the world can see. You feel what I'm saying? But then like the 6th house, your labor, your work, you feel me? The 6th house, the 5th house, which like sex, dating, entertainment, you feel me? How you pleasure, like how you enjoy yourself, you feel me? But also like offsprings and children, you feel what I'm saying? That's more private, right? So the 6th house, the 5th house, the 4th house, the third house, right? The house that deals with the mind. Because the 3rd house deals with your environment, but it also deals with your mental environment as much as it deals with your physical environment, because your mental environment is a looking glass. Your physical environment is a looking glass into your mind. You feel what I'm saying? So of course they're gonna be associated. You feel me? And yeah, so like the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st, these are more private houses. These are houses that are behind the scenes, that people cannot see. And so on the left side of the chart, so this is like the 4th. Wait, sorry, no. Yeah, okay. So the 3rd house. Hold on, sorry, I gotta look. Yeah, the 3rd house. Like, the 3rd house, the 2nd house, the 1st house, the 12th house, the 11th house, and the 10th house. These are all houses that are subjected to development and growth. These are houses that are continuously changing. The 3rd house, the mind, the environment, mentally and physically, that is subjected to change. It's more changeable. The 2nd house, your values, your possessions, and these are even internal values, things that you value, like ethics or whatever we can even say. These are prone to change as well. And then like the 1st house, your personal life, prone to change. The 12th house, the house that deals with like sorrows and like imprisonment, but also spirituality and spiritual liberation, having spiritual experiences. Those are prone to change as well. Your spirituality is prone to change because you grow spiritually. Feel me? Like the 10th house, your career life, and then the 9th house, for what I'm saying, which is the house of your philosophy, changeable and growing. And then at last, the eighth house, which is the house that deals with deaths, it deals with legacies, it deals with inheritances. You feel what I'm saying? It deals with the penetration of the mysterious world. You feel me? Because it's the house of Scorpio, so it deals with penetrating the illusion and seeing into what reality is. You feel me? Your ability to go into the light and move away from the dark, which is what the eighth house is. Even though the eighth house is more like all of the past experiences and their accumulation, because it's like fixed water, right? That's what Scorpio is. It's fixed water. And so because it's fixed water, it's fixed emotions. Fixed emotions are emotions from our past that we're stuck on. So that's what the eighth house deals with, things like that. But yeah, so that's an interesting division, for what I'm saying. But yeah, so that's like the first and the 10th house. Now let's get into like if there's any aspects or anything like that, And so also with your Mercury being in Libra in the first house, okay, so interesting because Mercury is ruling your 10th house, you feel me? And with Mercury being in Libra, it's like you probably I don't know if you would be into like aesthetics or beauty, but at the same time I think that can be like Mercury and Libra, but because Mercury is more mental and like because if Mercury was in Taurus, then yeah, we can talk about like aesthetics and things like that, you feel what I'm saying? But I'm gonna throw that out there anyways, like that is definitely a possibility, getting into like aesthetics and beauty, the beauty industry, and like maybe opening up like a beauty salon or something, like with this 10th house Gemini, and then Mercury being in the first house in Libra. This is like energy where whatever your career that you're doing, it's asked that you do it from a source that's sourced from yourself, right? Because the first house is personal life, so from a source of personal inspiration, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's the Mercury in the first house. But because I have my second house in Libra, so we have our second house in Libra, but the majority, I need to talk about that too. But the majority of our second house is in Scorpio. So for instance, we have like our first house in Virgo, right? But it's 28. No, yours is 25 degrees Virgo, if I'm not mistaken. It is 25 degrees Virgo. So 25 degrees Virgo, that means that 5 degrees of your first house is in the Virgo sign. But then the 25, the rest, like the 25 degrees that are needing to fill in that house, they're in Scorpio. My bad, they're in Libra, because it goes Virgo then Libra. And so our personal life becomes very very concerned. Well, I already talked about that earlier, huh? About the importance of servicing and getting into that Libra energy. Sheesh. Yeah. But okay, now let's look at the second house. So the second house is and I also want to say this to you, like, because okay, so like Neptune Mercury square, so it's like maybe a difficulty when it comes to getting into business for yourself. And I don't even know if this is something you'd be interested in, but at the same time, like I said earlier, Libras are the stage, the people there are public people, you feel me? They care about how they're seen and acknowledged by others, and they desire status, you feel me, in that realm. Like a Libra wants to be a man, you feel me? It's like they want, but the reason why they want to be a man is because of the status and X, Y, and Z that's associated with the man. So a lot of the times Libras are inclined more towards their masculine rather than feminine, and it's interesting. Although Libra is ruled by the Venus, Libra is the masculine expression of Venus, which I'm pretty sure we talked about previously. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Anyways, let's continue. So yeah, oh, right, that's what I was gonna say. With the Neptune Mercury square, one thing that becomes difficult and like expressing one's, like building a status or building credit for oneself, is the difficulty in like the flow of creative juices. You feel what I'm saying? Maybe lacking creativity and needing to expand more on that creative energy. But it's like Mercury, Neptune also, it's like sometimes you gotta be delusional. Sometimes you gotta believe in illusions. You gotta get into fantasy, right? That's Pisces, one of the signs that's ruled by Neptune. Well, the sign that's ruled by Neptune, Pisces, right? That's what Pisces is all about, delusions and spirituality and everything like that. And so there's a square, so there's difficulties on how Mercury perception taps into Neptune, the spirit plane, the utopian world, the fantasies, you feel me? So there may be a difficult tapping into that. And so, but it is important that we have imagination and an ability to create, you feel me? So yeah, I'll leave it at that with that energy right there, you feel me? So that's something you may need to find work on, find work to do on. My bad, I feel like I'm getting all over the place right now. But anyways, let's get to the second house. So the second house is in the second house ruler is Venus, and Venus rules both your second house and your ninth house. And so with Venus ruling your second house and your ninth house, it's like your philosophy and your perception, right, becomes a great important contributor to like your value and your possessions. It's like when when houses are under the same rulership, they become connected, you feel me, under the rulership. And it's like your philosophy, your perception, like for me, I had to expand my philosophy, I had to expand my perception. I have like vision boards, for example. I even have Facebook pages where I straight up I have like a Facebook page, it's personal, right? So I don't share it, but it's like abundantly me, and I have like all types of luxurious things on there, you feel me? And that's the vision board, and that is assisting me in expanding my perception and awareness of money, you feel me? And so doing things like that, you feel me, are going to be of great importance to you, and learning to tap into like your financial identity, and learning to, let me take this shit off, and learning to like, understand like your perception on value, like your perception on value. Yeah, like what are your values, what are your ethics, like how do you value yourself, you feel me? Like taking possessions and value and money and everything like that, and in a sense elevating them, and not looking at them as like just material things, but elevating them to a level where there is a sense of philosophy there as well, you feel me? But let's also look at where you have Venus at, because that definitely influences the energy. So your Venus is, if I'm not mistaken, in Scorpio. Your Venus is in Scorpio. So there may be a tendency of like associating deeper meanings and reasonings behind things. And this can even be type energy where it's like sentimental value, but furthermore it's like, because I don't have Venus in Scorpio, but I have Venus in Taurus in the 8th house, so it's similar energy. So like for me, I can pick up this object and now it is a possession of mine, it's a rock, you feel me? But I can through psychosymmetry, which is the psychic ability to touch an object and extract the memories and experiences from it. That is inanimate objects, they store experience and memory, you feel me, within their astral counterpart, you feel me? And so yeah, so that's one thing. Like I don't know, like one thing I also do is I do have like a relationship with my devices, you feel me? Like I appreciate my devices. Like the other day, my laptop, which I spent $1,000 on, I was like on a couch and I was cultivating energies inside of me. So like I was vibrating, to be honest, and I started stretching and doing all this other shit, and my laptop, it fell and like the screen cracked, and now it still works. I just have to broadcast it on the TV to use it. But it's like, it was just so deep when that, because I'm a deep person, but like when that happened, I realized that just because something, first and foremost, just because something is broken doesn't mean it's useless. But second and foremost, like I was going through a lot of spiritual experiences, and this was when, like, the moon was in Scorpio. You know, the moon just got into no, the moon was still in Virgo when this happened, I think. And so also, you know, it's portrayed in a lot of like different TV shows and movies on how, like, when people are trying to contact like higher life forms, kind of like in Supernatural when Archangel Sachiel was trying to contact like the other archangels, he had to like turn on static, you feel me? And like, you feel me, like that static and like that weird energy was like a channel for these spirits to come through. So when I look at my laptop and I see all of these like weird glitches and like all these different lines, to me it's just so deep, and it's like, I don't know, I have an appreciation for my laptop, you feel me? And it's like I want to go get it fixed, but then at the same time, because I think things are good the way that they are, in the sense that I think it's still perfect, you know, it's still it, and it's a reflection of me. It's broken. I guess I'm not broken, but I don't know, you feel what I'm saying? It's not broken just because it looks weird. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so that's like that energy right there can manifest when it comes to like, you know, the second house being in Scorpio, but also the second house being ruled by a planet that's in Scorpio, you feel me? Sentimental value, like touching things and extracting memory from them, or whatever, however degree it may be, you feel me? And so, like, with the second house being in Libra, it's like it's like 5 degrees Libra, you know. So the rest of the second house is in Scorpio. So Libra is a sign that deals with partnerships, associationships. Like counselors it's a Librian energy to counsel someone and to be on a one-on-one, like not groups, because that's Aquarius, but like, you know, you feel what I'm saying, counsel. And so Scorpio is a sign that deals with the penetration into the realm that's mysterious, you know, the realm of the unknown and the unseen, you feel what I'm saying? And so anyways, the realm of the unknown and the unseen. The realm of the unknown and the unseen. And so getting into things like, because what I do, right, is I found great value in this practice, feel me? I found great value in astrology because it helps me penetrate into the unknown, you feel me? And I also do alchemy and all the, like, you feel me, all these other different things that are also very occult sciences. And so our values become occult sciences, but at the same time, like, because Scorpio is here, we can find ourselves valuing like and I'll explain, like valuing like negativity and like hardship and trials and tribulation, and thinking that like hardship is something that's of value, you know. But it's like because you know that emotions are addictive because they're hormonal chemicals that our body becomes like dependent upon, you feel what I'm saying? But I don't know, but yeah, I think that's one negative thing, you feel what I'm saying? Like the inclination towards attracting more negative values and positive values, you feel me? But also at this house, the values do become very spiritual and not so much physical, but more emotional, and you know, you feel what I'm saying? More emotional. So you value deep, emotional, intense connections, you feel me? In a relationship, you need a deep emotional connection, a connection where you feel like you're blending and surrendering with the other person. And that's your Venus and Scorpio, which we talked about the other day. Feel what I'm saying? Alright, and so your 9th house would be in Taurus. And so with your 9th house being in Taurus and your 9th house ruler being in Scorpio, you can penetrate deep into the unknown and the unseen. And it's like, with the Libra energy and everything like that, yeah, like working with me, is of value and benefit, of course. But it's like you can do this shit yourself. You feel me? Like, okay, also you can, yeah, like you can penetrate into the unknown and the unseen. And this is like the Venus. We haven't even started talking about Taurus, right? Penetrate into the unknown and the unseen. But then with the Taurus being here, when the ninth house is in Taurus, a sense of practicality manifests when it comes to our philosophy in life. You feel me? Our philosophy in life is not that complicated. It's very simple. You feel me? We may be like the type of people who claim that love is our religion, and we are more so inclined towards the path of least resistance. You feel what I'm saying? And so we may even use like we may even use like spiritual processes and protocols, to get the things that we want. You feel what I'm saying? If that makes sense, because your eighth house really is in in Taurus, because only 5 degrees. Hold on. Yeah, only 5 degrees is not even 5 degrees. 9 degrees. Only 9 degrees of your ninth house is Taurus. And this does make a practicalization, and so the rest of it is Gemini. Gemini is the thoughts, the rationalization, the logic. So our philosophy is based very much a lot on our ability to learn and accumulate information. But it's like once we accumulate that information, we have a ability to make it practical and simplify it. You feel me? We like to take complex philosophies and make them simple, make them applicable to us. You feel what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's the ninth house energies. Ninth house, second house, Venus rulership. But anyways, let's go into the third house now. So third house and the eighth house. You feel what I'm saying? Also, you also have Venus trine Mars. You feel me? So with your Venus trining your Mars, this produces an energy of harmony when it comes to. So Venus deals with pleasure. You feel me? And Mars deals with work. So there can be a great balance between pleasure and work. You feel me? Ultimately here, being a type of person who is willing to go and do the things you need to do, the hardships, the strife, so then later you can enjoy, like the good things in life, But like Venus trine Mars, like this makes a harmonious flow, where it's like sometimes you may not even need to work hard like that for you to get the pleasures and comforts of life. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, like you have Mars in Cancer though, so it makes sense that I don't know if you're a stay-at-home mom. I meant to say, and you feel me, a stay-at-home mom. Like it make a lot of sense if you were. You feel me with that energy, with the Cancer energy, the Venus, with the Venus trine Mars energy. You feel me? And so ultimately I feel like this is because, okay, Mars is the emotions that are harsh, right? Mars in Scorpio is harsh emotions. Venus in Scorpio is also harsh emotion. But it's like there is a synchronism between Mars and Venus that allows emotional liberation more easily than others. You feel me? In the sense that I feel like it's also like the phoenix rising from the ashes and then finding peace, but it not being afraid to go through the flame the other time, because it understands that if it goes through it, then harmony and balance is at the end as on the other side. I hope that makes sense. Okay, now let's look at the third and the eighth house. So both your third and your eighth house are ruled by Mars. Alright, so your third house is in Aries. My bad. Your third house is in Scorpio, and your second house is in Aries. So again, 9 degrees of your eighth house is in Aries, and then the rest of the degrees is in Taurus. Okay, so the eighth house is a house that deals with um it's the house of Scorpio. It deals with like hardships, trials, tribulations, enemies, hidden enemies. When I say hardships and trials and tribulations, these are hardships and trials and tribulations that are a result of like subconscious programming. You feel me? Traumatic programming, traumas within you, thoughts within you, emotions within you. You feel me? That are reproducing themselves in your external reality as pain. You feel me? And so with Venus being in Aries, a path is asked to walk that deals with self-transformation and self-transmutation. Aries is the I am. Aries is the ego, the self, the me. You feel me? It's all about the identity. You feel me? And the eighth house is a house of the Scorpion, transformation energy. So with here, you are called to put death to your ego. Put death to certain parts of your ego. But then with Taurus being here, like, this energy is interesting. You feel me? Because like the eighth house, it's also a house of like desiring and wanting but not having. You feel me? So Taurus and Scorpio, you feel me? Taurus is a practical sign, and Taurus is I have. You feel what I'm saying? A Taurus is going to want things. They're going to want to desire things, but they don't stop there. A Taurus is going to want to desire things, and then they're going to go out and get a job and work, and they're going to make money, and then they're going to go and buy that stuff. It's very practical energy. You feel what I'm saying? But a Scorpio can get a little delusional and a little obsessive with wanting and desiring things, but being stuck in that obsession and not actually going out and putting action, like just really, really, really wanting it, but like not putting action. And so because, it's a house of wanting and desire and like never not having, and with Taurus being in the eighth house, like maybe even in your past experiences, you may have felt like you didn't have much, like you always desired and wanted things, but maybe it was hard for you to get them. Like I always desired and wanted things too, and it was so hard for me to get them until I started straight up living in alignment with my chart, which guided me to magic, you feel me, and alchemy, you feel me. And so once I started doing these things and programming my subconscious mind, you feel me, then like wealth and abundance and riches started to flow in. But prior to that though, there was a sense of like scarcity. But also the eighth house deals with the other partner's money and the other partner's resources. And when Taurus is in the eighth house, there can be, I don't want to use the word dependency, but benefiting and valuing from other people's resources becomes a thing. You feel what I'm saying? And this can even, because the eighth house also deals with insurances, it deals with legacies. So with it dealing with legacies, it's an indication that there was a spiritual legacy you inherited. You feel me? And it can be physical also, but it's like because your second house is in Scorpio, or most of it is in Scorpio anyways, a lot of our possessions are not so material, but they're spiritual. So the inheritances that you inherited from your ancestors, it's likely not land, even though it can be, is not material, but it's spiritual. So it's like tap in with your ancestors, you feel me? And they have treasures to give you. Like so many times in the full moon, and sometimes, one time I was in the mountains, you feel me? And it was like 6 a.m. and it was still dark. Like all these, like my ancestors, you feel me, my predecessors, because I say ancestors, but I'm not even talking about my physical ancestors, I'm talking about my spiritual ancestors, you feel me? Like all these beings were coming to me with treasures, you feel me, and like wanting to give me, it's because they know like the path I'm on and things like that, and they appreciate me. And so they were giving me all this wealth and all these treasures, and I'm pretty sure that those treasures and wealth that they gave me translated into the knowledge and intellect that I have today, which is true treasure, wisdom, right? Bob Marley said, silver and gold is not worth more than wisdom, he said wisdom is worth more than silver and gold. Wisdom is worth more than silver and gold. Let me say that one more time. Wisdom is worth more than silver and gold. You feel me? And so with this 8th house energy, that's where the inheritance manifests primarily. In a sense of awareness or wisdom. You feel what I'm saying? An innate awareness and wisdom. And it may be like you don't know where it's coming from, but you know that these are some things that you possess, something that you have within you, But yeah, so that's like the 3rd house. My bad, that's the 8th house we talked about. So that's pretty much the 8th house, Now let's talk about the 3rd house. So with the 3rd house being in Scorpio, I mean, it's okay. So the 3rd house is like 5 degrees Scorpio, and then like the 25 degrees of Sagittarius. So the 3rd house is the house of the environment, as we talked about earlier, and it deals both with the mental and it deals more both with the mental environment and the physical environment. You feel what I'm saying? And so, with that being said, in this placement, right, it's primarily Scorpio, but we still have a little bit of that 8th house energy. So strife can manifest in the environment. You feel me? Like tense energies can be present and manifested within the environment. You feel me? But this is likely a minimum, and then like the majority is the Sagittarian energy. You feel me? So that first and foremost, learning to get into like cleansing the space and becoming attuned and aware of like the spiritual vibe of the environment, you feel me, becomes of great importance. Learning even to connect with the land that you're on is of importance as well with this 3rd house Scorpio, you feel me? And so when the 3rd house is in Scorpio, a lot of the transformations come through the environment. And so this can be like, they come through the environment, but at the same time, do be mindful that it's both physical and mental environment. So a lot of your transformation is going to come through your thoughts and the thoughts you associate with, because the 3rd house also deals with association. And so the thoughts that you associate with, they can either create restrictions and limitations and like baggage and boundaries, you feel me? Because Scorpio is a very restricted sign, you feel me, that needs to break through its chains and rise from its ashes as the phoenix. You feel what I'm saying? So from that sense, like, there can be like baggages and hardships because of the thoughts you're choosing to carry with you, the thoughts you're choosing to associate with. So if you don't know who Joe Dispenza is, go look up Joe Dispenza and learn his walking meditation and start to do it every day, and this is meditation that's going to help you reprogram your subconscious mind. And so for a 3rd house Scorpio, this would be something of great value and benefit. But at the same time, you'll have the majority of it in Sagittarius. So thus the hardships and the trials and tribulations that manifest within the physical realm do also come with them a sense and awareness of like, with a sense and awareness that everything happens for a reason, because Sagittarius is a philosophical sign. It is the philosopher, right? And so, that's also the beautiful thing about this. But also with the 3rd house being here, you may be a type of person who likes to put meaningful things around your environment, around your place. You like to get energetic and spiritual about your environment, about your place. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, this is also very explorative energy, very freeing energy, and to an extent, like with this energy, it may even feel that like you don't have a home, but you have many, many different homes. And at the end of the day, you may even feel like the whole world is your home, especially with that 4th house in Sagittarius. You feel me? You may feel like the whole house is your home, or that you can be at home anywhere and everywhere you go. It's that energy where you're like, man, home is inside of me, and home is with the people around me that I love. It's not this physical object, So that's like the 3rd house energy. Now let's look into like it's cool with this third house energy also. I mean, with the it's really ruled by Mars, so there are going to be trials and tribulations and hardship. And so learning to renew your mind, right, and learning to cleanse your thoughts and purify your thoughts also is going to become of an importance with this placement. You feel what I'm saying? But anyways, let's go into because you know Scorpio is the sign of transformation, right, rising from the ashes. And so you may need to do that. Ooh, you need to learn how to put death to certain thoughts, so then birth can be allowed for other thoughts to manifest. In the sense that, you know, there's a saying, right? There is no source of darkness, only the absence of good. I mean, only the absence of light, right? There is no source of darkness, only the absence of light. And so, even so, it's like when you remove the light, I mean, when you remove the dark, you're left with the light. And when you remove the light, you're left with the dark. It's interesting and kind of perplexing, so let's kind of move forward. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that energy. Now let's look at your fourth house. But before we look at your fourth house, let's look at so you have Mars square your sun. So with with Mars squaring your sun, you feel me? So Mars is a sign of execution, of motivation, of the things that you get up and do. But then the sun is the planet that deals with the identity, the self, the me, the ego, you know, how you perceive and see yourself. And so with the sun and Mars being opposed, you feel me? I mean squared, because squaring is a tension where you have to learn to bring two energies that are unfamiliar with each other together. In the sense that you can bring them together because they are familiar with each other, but the things that they're doing, although it's the same, it's different. You feel me? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. And also, because you have Libra, Cancer. Both Libra and Cancer deal with relationships. You feel me? But Libra more deals with relationships from a intellectual perspective, right? It's a sign that deals with policy also. You feel me? Marriage, you know, so it's more from that perspective. A perspective of relating and associating with another person. But then Cancer deals with relationships, but from the perspective of emotions and the perspective of emotion, you know. And so, like, I guess the primary square here is Libra is very balanced. Cancer is all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So with your sun being in Libra, the balance becomes, well, a lot of your focus and attention and awareness is centered to others, you know. But then it's like your Mars in Cancer asks that you get into your own feeling and your emotions and, you know, process and release certain things. But it's like you may neglect that and you may put that to the side, push it away, and it's like it's just hard. It's hard for you. It may even be hard for you to like bridge, you know, the energies you bring out into the world versus your motivations. So it's like the things you express you want to do, but then like when you get up and actually do things, they may be conflicting. You feel me? Like it may not be easy for you to just be like, I'm gonna go and meditate and then go sit down and meditate. Like Libra, right? I'm gonna go balance myself by meditating. Cancer is like, no, I'm impulse, because it's also impulses and emotions. Cancer's like, no, my impulse is telling me let's go do that real quick. Let's go do something comfortable real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, yeah. But I'll leave it at that. Though. I'll leave it at that. So feeling like, and this can even be energies of like feeling like you're continuously compromising, but like there isn't carrying energy like that. But keep in mind, once you bridge that energy, then you know how to deal with that. You know how to deal with people, like, or not even people, but like, yeah, people not appreciating your motivation, like things you do for them. You know, people not appreciating the things you do for them, or like you yourself not being able to see how the things that you do and the way that you see yourself can merge and unify and synchronize, right? And so maybe the things that you do, Mars and Cancer, are familial, family orientated, but then the way you see yourself is relationship orientated. But it's like the family, it's not really a personal relationship because you're interacting with the whole family, you feel me? But then so yeah, I think that's where the conflicting comes from. Libra may want time with its partner, Libra may want to be held, to be loved, and some alone time, but then Cancer is motivated and inclined towards investing and pouring all the energy into the family, you feel me? And so that's where your motivations go. And so that's where the confliction may be, being so domesticated that you don't have the time to enjoy yourself, your social life, and your partner, your romance, because Libra is a very sexual sign. They love sex, and it's they want it and they need it. And also Venus and Scorpio. But take that as it resonates, because with your Venus and Scorpio, although Scorpio is the sign of sex, it actually just means that sex becomes prominent. And this can mean that they're not having sex, but it's something that they're focused on and thinking about, and there's energy there. You feel me? But sex just becomes prominent. So even celibacy, a Scorpio can go and be you know what, I'm not gonna have sex, I'm gonna be celibate. But it's they're still focused on sex. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're not having it. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much yeah, that's the first aspect, Mars and then also we have Mars opposing Neptune and Uranus, right? So Uranus is the planet of change, changes that are sudden and unexpected, you feel me? Something coming into your life and being yo, come on, chop chop, you gotta go, we gotta move. Cancer, right? Mars in Cancer, it doesn't like that, it's very comfy and it's in its element, and it's no, I don't want to go, I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. But then Uranus, which is squaring, hold on, let me see what sign, if I'm not mistaken, I think it would be in a fire sign. I think it had to be in a fire sign to make a square. And I would have to think again, it's actually in an earth sign, which also makes sense. So okay. Wait. Hold on, I'm checking right now. I wonder why it says, it says opposition. I was thinking square. No, it says opposition. Oh yeah, I could have figured that out without looking at the chart. So, yeah, and so the way that this energy plays out is maybe going through not having the ability to go through sudden changes efficiently and effectively. And it's when things happen abruptly and disruptively, they affect you, you feel me? And you may have trouble bouncing back, you feel what I'm saying? But it's at the same time, with Uranus opposing Mars, your motives, because Uranus is also the planet of individuality and uniqueness, you feel me? So your motives may lack individuality and uniqueness, you feel me? But your motives are more inclined towards the welfare of the family and the consideration of the family, you feel me? And so with that being said, it's important to, and because, right, it's the family and everything like that, it's hard when abrupt changes just take place, because it's the family, it's the heart, you feel what I'm saying? So yeah, and so this can be taking precautions and making sure that certain things that can happen don't happen, you feel me? Because I feel like Cancer can create great boundaries and safety energies, you feel me, if they try. Protection, you know. Yeah, okay, so now let's look at now the 4th and the 7th house. So the 4th and the 7th house are both ruled by Jupiter. So your 4th house is in Sagittarius, your 7th house is in Pisces. So 4th house is in Sagittarius, although it's only 5 degrees Sagittarius. So the rest of your 4th house is in is going to be in the sign Capricorn. So fortunately though, because the first few degrees of your 4th house is in Sagittarius, blessings are going to manifest through the home life. You feel me? But it's like the way that these blessings may start to come in to the life, they may look like negative, or they may look harsh, or they may look hard. You feel me? But with Venus, with like Sagittarius in the 4th house, like I said earlier, Sagittarius is a very philosophical sign, you know, so philosophy becomes of great importance when it comes to understanding and comprehending why certain things are the way that they are in the family life, and having faith and trusting that things happen with purpose and reasoning. Also with like Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, you feel me? It's a planet, it's a sign that deals with restriction and limitation. You know, Capricorn doesn't deal with emotions. Capricorn deals with business. It deals with status. It deals with, if you have something, you are something. You feel what I'm saying? So that's Capricorn, you feel me? It's a utilization. What can I use? How can you benefit me? It's also a very selfish sign. And so there is a possibility that you went through a lot of hardships, and I don't even need to say possibility, especially with that Mars and Cancer, you know, a lot of hardships and hard energies when it comes to like the upbringing in the childhood, you feel what I'm saying? And so what happens here is that you need, like what I said earlier about Joe Dispenza, like 100%, you feel me? Like you need to tap into that and, you know, do that, and you feel me? And like if you're interested, I would be happy to be like your mentor and guide you through these things, you feel me? And of course we'd be more on the phone, you feel me, more than this. Like the reading, I like to record it, you know, so then you have it and you can go back to it. Yeah, but you know, if you're interested, then, you know, I can, like, now that I have an awareness of you as well, I can help and guide you towards constructive energies, you know. So it's cool to have a mentor who knows your astrology, because they know yourself, they know you, and they know the things that would be good for you, if that makes sense, you feel me? But yeah, you know, that's if you're interested, of course. And because I'm starting these consultations, you know, and this mentorship program, like the consultations are gonna be $55. You feel what I'm saying? $55 for the mentorship energy. So once a week, you feel me? $55, X, Y, and Z. So that's like $200 a month, you know, I guess. $55 a week. But so yeah, you know, going into the past and learning to reprogram yourself is going to be important with Capricorn being in the 4th house, because there can be toxic emotions and energies of feeling like I will never be loved, like I never experienced love, and I don't know if I will ever experience love again. And so Capricorn builds, you know, it uses the things it can to build. And so we, you know, Capricorn 4th houses, because we didn't have the most supportive family upbringing, we have a desire to want to make our own, to build our own family, you feel me? And a lot of the times, of course, when we do it, depending on our level of consciousness and awareness, we do it from a place where we emulate something better from our past. You know, we do everything we wish was done for us type energy. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm gonna have to conclude this reading, and I will get back, you know, and finish it. because unfortunately the camera is about to die and I don't want it to die and lose this. You feel what I'm saying? Peace, my friend. I'll be back.